Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As promised, I've filmed my Bella Hadid inspired fox makeup look. I know that's trending at the moment where everything is lifted to say the least, so if you want to see my take on this tutorial, then just keep on watching. Wondering if I should start with my hair first just because it's a little bit crazy, like it is so greasy. This is what I've noticed a lot of people are doing. You're gonna take the front section of your hair, so for me it's literally those bleached pieces of hair, and then you're gonna take from the top of your ear all the way to just behind that point, and you are going to really pull that. So like this is my face normally, pulling that, that's already like the biggest trick in this whole like fox eye makeup. And all my baby hair is just coming through. I'm gonna tuck that under. It looks crazy at the moment, but we're gonna come back to the hair whenever we're done the makeup, but I promise guys, this will all come together. Nothing new here. I'm still loving this foundation. Obviously it's literally been like 2 weeks. 2 pumps, and then I can go in with a little bit more if I need extra coverage. This makeup is all about the base because we really wanna lift the appearance of our face, like creating a nice contour and just, you know, toit. I'm also going very carefully into my hairline because obviously this hairstyle is showing my hairline, and because I have such fine blonde hair at my hairline, oh my gosh, can I say it any more times? You can definitely see if I stop my foundation before it, so I'm just kind of weaving it into the hair there. For concealer, this is another major part of this whole look. I did this in my previous tutorial where you're kind of like spot placing the concealer to really enhance that fox eye effect and to really lift your face. Obviously anything that is brightening, especially in a concealer, is going to help lift your face, where the contour bronzer that we go to next is just going to deepen the areas so that there's more of a contrast between the two. This is a Too Faced Born This Way concealer in vanilla. I'm putting a little bit in the inner corner of my eyes, the outer corner to like lift it, and the outer corner of my lips. Voila! I'm definitely already feeling very lifted, and that's not even with contour bronzer on. That is just foundation and a highlighting concealer. So goes to show you what a good base can really, you know, do for your face. I'm gonna set just those areas we did with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, whatever it's called, in number 2. Mostly under my eyes because I don't want it to crease. I'm not gonna put a lot because we're gonna come back with a translucent powder to bake, mostly under here. So I'm gonna do a very fine dusting of this. It's really just to kind of set any, you know, remaining creaminess so that I can put on a powder contour bronzer. I'm gonna contour with my Benefit Hoola bronzer, just the original. And then I'm gonna go in with this MAC Mineralise Skin Finish in dark. It definitely has a more warm undertone, and I'm gonna buff out the contour with this so it's a nice bronzy effect. So very small amount of the Benefit Hoola bronzer because I just want like a shadow for my contour right at the top of my ear, coming down to like the middle of my cheek. I don't want to hit in here, or else it starts to look like muddy. I'm gonna bring it all around my hairline as well. I always know someone's here whenever. 1 second. Sorry about that. Resuming contouring. That same bronzer, I'm gonna take a smaller shading brush. This is the Sigma Blending E25 brush. Really tap that off. And we're gonna go in from the inner corner of our eye, like at the beginning of our eyebrow right here, in circular motions, all the way down our nose because we want it to be a snatched nose. I'd normally just for like a quick nose contour take the same brush I used on my face, but we want this to be a little bit more precise. So I'm taking a small amount of the bronzer and going right up into the inner corner of my eye. Okay, that nose is super contoured. We'll go back to that and soften it, but I want to go to the MAC Mineral Skin Finish in dark for a little bit more warmth, because right now it's just very contoured instead of like bronzy. So I'm just gonna buff out the contour with this shade to make it a slight bit more connected, but also warmer. Okay, we're gonna step away from the bronzing and contouring and move on to a blush. Didn't want to do a very, you know, intense pinky blush, something I would normally like to do. So I picked a softer color. This is Moonshot 302. So really keeping it on the circle, the apple of my cheek, and buffing it in all the way up. It's also kind of mimicking that high cheekbone effect that we want. Same on this side. Don't worry about if it's going a little bit too much because we still need to like bake, so we'll cut it in a bit. Also gonna put a little bit in my eye crease as well. Now before we move on to our eyes, I'm just gonna bake underneath the jawline, which I know it's gonna get even more snatched. This is the MAC Prep and, oh my gosh, MAC Prep and Prime. It's just a translucent powder. You can pick any translucent powder you want. We are gonna go to town with under like here and in here. So then I'm gonna squeeze the brush here and put it where we initially put that concealer to almost cut the top part of the contour. So I'm gonna move on to my brows. I'm gonna use the brow braid, oh I can never say it, Urban Decay Brow Blade and Cool Cookie. I'm gonna do a little mix of the pencil and the ink. I'm gonna do the ink in the front of the brows so it looks a little bit more sparse and like you have more hairs, where the outside I'm going to do it a little bit sharper and straighter, so I'm going to use the pencil just for a little bit more precision. I think that's the most intense I've ever done my brows. Wow. For eyeshadow, it's not necessarily like a certain eyeshadow look, it's more of like contouring your eye. So I'm using this MAC palette. It's the Nude model. I think it's just a pre-made palette. Looks like this. I'm going to take this one, which is technically the top right shade right up here, on a Sigma Pencil E30 brush. Kind of has a gray undertone. And I'm going to mimic what we were doing with the bronzer. So in the inner corner, following all the way over my crease, right to the outer corner where like the end of my brow is, but I'm not going down. I'm going to stop like halfway and then fluff it out so that it doesn't really have like an end point. It kind of just fades to nothing. Sorry for the multiple brow hairs as well. I did not groom those. I'm going to take a very small amount on my lower lash line, just at the outer corner to kind of, you know, help bring it up a little bit. Now for the part that makes or breaks this entire look, eyeliner. Of course I'm going to do a liquid liner. This is the OFRA verified liquid liner. It's like a little felt tip pen. You're gonna start from the very, I'm gonna explain it first and then I'll show you. I'm gonna start from the very inner corner of my eye, but overlining it ever so slightly so it comes down towards the nose, and then going right at my lash line, and then going right up, kind of following that translucent powder that we have, keeping it as thin as possible, but you know, it's kind of in the eyeliner god's favor, so good luck to you all on this part. Also, another tip, don't go to the corner of your eye, because naturally the corner of your eye goes down before it goes up, so kind of like just skip it and go up, if you know what I mean. I like to take the eyeliner the opposite way to place it where I want it and then go down. I also have an eyeliner tutorial if you want to learn, but I'm happy with that. Okay, other side. I am literally sweating. I'm gonna take off the powder that we have all over our face so that I don't over bake anything, because it's already been on for a little bit too long. Now just to make sure that top waterline is like really, you know, dark and, you know, going with that cat eye we have going on, I'm gonna take this MAC liner in Photo Gravure, line that so it's nice and dark before we put mascara and lashes on. Mascara, nothing new here. This is the NABLA Major Pleasure. I'm going to do just a really quick coat, consisting it more at the outer corners. Then I'm going to go in with some individual lashes, and I'm going to keep them at the outer corner. Only a few. I'm not going to go ham with lashes. It's just to really emphasize that whole lift we have going on at the side of our eyes. I'm going to let my lashes dry in place before I put some more mascara on, just to emphasize it a little bit more, but we're going to move on to lips. I'm using MAC Stripdown Liner, and the picture that I'm getting inspiration from, the one of Bella Hadid, she definitely has a larger upper lip, so I'm definitely going to oversize my upper lip by starting at the outer corner of my lips and going all the way to the top and really defining my Cupid's bow, and then just keeping the line on my bottom lip to my actual lip size. For lipstick, I have two different shades. This is the L'Oreal Color Riche Ultra Matte in No Shame and No Doubt, so I'm just going to kind of mix them to the preference I want. They're very similar, so I'm going to take the darker one first and just pat it on, and then the other one just in the center to pop the color a bit more. You can leave your lips matte if you want. I do think that is really beautiful just on its own, but we're gonna put a little bit of a shine on it. So I picked out this one in my collection. It's the Mirenesse Velvet Lip Lift Moisture Shine. It's really pretty and like sparkly, so probably just the center, just to grab a little bit of shine right there. This took a hot minute to film. Like, there's a lot of steps with this. We're gonna go on to finish the hair because I feel like that's kind of finishing it off. First of all, this straightener is unreal. It's from GHD Platinum Plus. And I guess you can kind of have your front bang going either way. So I'm going to take my straightener and just kind of smooth out the top. And then I want to flip out the bottom, so I'm gonna go upwards. You can see it kind of flipping out there. This is just kind of the look that she had going on, so you don't need to do this look for this specific makeup. But I'm just gonna go through and flip out the bottom of my hair like that. This straightener is so good. I'm not someone to like really straighten my hair, but the amount of looks I can get from it, because I can curl the ends and it straightens it like nicely. I don't know, highly recommend it though. Whew. That was time consuming, but I'm really happy with the results actually. Like, I feel like I got a facelift, and it's very, you know, I think Bella Hadid's face is literally just this lifted, so she doesn't need as much makeup to do it. But you know what, for being 32 weeks pregnant, I feel like I have a little bit of a cheekbone going on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this look. Let me know what other looks you want to see in the comments down below. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.